Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and start this meeting. We've got a few members that are on their way. Elizabeth Finch.
Mr. Chairman and distinguished committee, I come before you today first and foremost as a woman. I am also an NRA certified instructor, a leader of a 40-member women's shooting chapter, and a supporter of the right and responsibility to defend oneself. I have read this bill in its entirety. This is the best bill concerning gun and private property rights put forth in years, and I'm strongly in favor of it. As someone who is very active in my own church as a Stephen minister, a Sunday school teacher, and a choir member, I often find myself there in the evenings and often walking back to my car, located in one of the handful of parking lots scattered about in downtown Marietta in the dark. Current law prevents me from legally being able to defend myself properly in this situation should the need arise. I take great issue with this for two reasons. One, churches are private property and should be treated as such. No government should be able to grant certain private property rights to one private entity, yet deny the same to another. Secondly, it is my responsibility, and ultimately mine alone, to protect myself. Our police are a wonderful resource, but criminals are not generally known to wait for the police to arrive before committing heinous and unlawful acts. For most victims, the police are there in time for the crime to be reported, but not there in time to prevent it from being committed. I shouldn't be denied by law the right to equip myself for my own proactive protection, whether it's at the grocery store, my house, or a place of worship. Victims are not allowed the opportunity to know when or where they may be victimized. Being one of millions of women who have been victimized at some point in their lives, I've had the unfortunate need to defend my life and my safety. In 1999, I found myself being chased by my ex-husband with an asp baton like many police carry. There was no help in sight and no one to depend upon to save me but myself. I felt 100% certain that my life was in jeopardy at that moment. Thinking quickly, I drew my carry gun at that time from my purse and ordered him to not take another step toward me. That day, I was able to defend myself and deter him from the harm he intended to inflict upon me without firing a single shot. Had I not been properly equipped, I feel very confident in saying that I would not be alive today. As a woman, it's important to me to feel safe, secure, and equipped with the ability to defend myself. As a citizen and a Second Amendment supporter, freedom, liberty, and rights are very dear to my heart. The more limitations there are on where I am permitted to be lawfully armed, the less safe, secure, and equipped I am, and the more my liberty and rights are infringed upon. As a believer in liberty and the Constitution, I'd like to further point out that current and further restrictions upon where carry is permitted by law is, at its core, rooted in distrust of the lawful citizenry, and as such is not in accordance with a free society rooted in liberty. I implore you, as both a woman and a citizen, to support and favor this bill. Thank you for your consideration.
Thank you, Ms. Finch. Any questions from any of the committee members?